a human being, you hate bots. And if you're not a human being, then you're a bot. So, get out. But today, wait, does that check out? I think that checks out. If you're not a human, you're basically
some
a
Blade
bot.
Runner stuff. I don't know who's a bot anymore.
Talking about replicants? Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Great movie, by the way. But let's go ahead and go over what people will be winning today. 5,000 winners will receive 1 scavenger crate, and 50 winners will receive 20,000 steel. That is 1,000 steel times 20. That is, math.
Yeah. I don't think you're wrong about that. That was definitely math.
Quick math.
And yeah, so point being, please play Azarus. Bots can't win, so you're good. And you can win drops based on your answers to the questions. Right up next, we're going to have Clarissa join us to talk about the Dominion series. So we'll be right back. Clarissa, you appeared so fast. It was
like a mirage. She just appeared from the shadows. Look at that.
You didn't see me before, but I was here this whole time. What?
Mirage. Mirage right there.
It's everywhere.
So how are you doing today, Clarissa?
I'm doing great. It's good to be back in the show. I'm really happy because I just got my little figurine. Ooh. My little warmonger BB.
Little war mommy, as the fandom would call her. That's awesome. No,
warmonger.
Warmonger. Okay,
warmonger. This is warmonger. You can have war mommy.
I don't want war mommy, and I don't want war mommy. That's not that's neither here nor there. But no, that is super awesome. These are a series of figures that you can get on a particular website. Are you able to name how many of the figures people will be able to purchase?
I would say a good handful.
A good handful. You can go ahead and check it out at merch.ubisoft.com/for-honor-customizer. The link is on screen right now. It'll be spammed in the chat currently at the moment. And you can go on there. You can go over there, customize one of the selections of the heroes. You can do small, medium, large, all that good stuff. Keep in mind that for right now, this is only for US and Canada. So definitely, that's just how it is at the moment. So yes, go ahead and go over and check it out. It's super awesome. I actually need to get myself one. Matt, you should get one as well, so we can all just dance our little figures around and stuff.
I don't believe in action figures. I think they contain the souls of people. So that's a thing for me.
If that is the case, then I am a very happy man.
Yep. So Clarissa, we brought you on actually to talk about the Dominion series. So yes. What's your update for us?
Yeah, so last week we just concluded our first major, the stage 1 major. So congratulations to the winners. Clap, 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 clap. But that's not the end. We are now moving on to stage 2. And so here are the dates for stage 2. It will begin in July. And the major for stage 2 will be in August 28th. So just a quick reminder, the qualifiers is open to everyone. There is a point system, so participate in the qualifiers, get points. Also, if you win the qualifier, you get invited to the major where you can get even more points and also cash prize. So there is a chance for you to get even some moolah, whatever. So please join up. It's going to be really fun. This will all go towards the finals at the end, which will happen in Year 5, Season 4. So we're only on Season 2. Sign up now at battlefy.com/Dominion series. And that's the update.
Thank you, Clarissa. We'll be right back with Brian for some updates on some community happenings. Whoosh. It's instant every time. It's like an actual mirage. What's up, Brian? How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
We're super hyped. There's a lot going on.
I'm super excited to be back on the Warrior's Den with fun things to share.
Share those fun things with us.
So first up, the big thing I want to talk about is we recently launched the For Honor Discord Dojo, and we've had a couple of open sparring times already. So really what this is this is a dedicated place that's all about the spirit of shared learning. And so it's a space on the previously For Honor Trials Discord. Now it's For Honor Trials and Dojo. And we've just set up a space in there where we have curated pro tips, we have learning resources, and to start with, because I'm a big believer in starting small and building big. That's why I always go for the purples in Risk. And and so to start off with, we have some set open sparring times that are going to be happening every week, Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern and Saturdays at 4 p.m. Eastern. And so you can show up, and for a couple, they go for 2 hours, and you can just find people to team up with, spar, and give each other pointers, and really just help each other get better at For Honor. And then as kind of mentors emerge from that, we're going to look into opening up some like group practice sessions. And so the whole thing is really based around helping everybody get better at For Honor, because For Honor really is like a skill and an art that you have to like really dedicate yourself to get better. And so as a like HEMA practitioner in real life, I just saw like a huge overlap with a lot of the concepts that we have like in my IRL Sword Guild. And so I wanted to bring those to For Honor and kind of establish a place that has those same concepts there. So regardless of your skill level, regardless of your background, like show up. This is a place that's about getting better at the game and just really getting you to wherever you want to be in your For Honor journey. And so we should have the link in chat for the Discord, and we can get that. You show up there and meet some friends, team up with some people, spar, and just work on your skills.
It's also a really great place. Like if you're a new player, do not be discouraged. Don't be intimidated. Go ahead and get into the Discord. There are plenty of people that are in there right now, and will be coming. They'll be willing to kind of show you the ropes and make you not feel like a noob. So
yeah, we worked really closely with the community mods to make sure that's a safe space for everyone. And so, yeah, don't be intimidated. It's there to help you get wherever you want to go in your journey.
I think it's worth reinforcing too that the people who can provide like tips and coaching are doing like a service to the community with what they're doing and really doing right by the For Honor community. It's not just about the people who are getting taught, right? It's kind of also about the teachers and what they get out of it, which is like, just more friends to chill with and players who see the game in whatever way they want to, but in a way where they can improve as part of a journey, which is rad.
And one additional note real quick is we're looking at opening up some times for those of you who are in Europe, so that there are open sparring times that line up with your territory. And so if we haven't already by the time this goes live.
It's a mirage. We already had this figured out.
Everything is a mirage, but it's not. It's all real. Brian, I think we also have another community-related topic to talk about involving what people put on their heroes.
We do. So for those of you with sharp ears, you'll remember I talked about some For Honor fashion contests a while ago.
He doesn't dab.
So,
no.
That was a mirage.
Too bad,
everyone.
Josh. Too bad.
That didn't happen. That was a mirage.
Yeah, so right now we are eyeballing one of two weekends here in June that we're going to go for, either the probably the 11th or the 18th. So check out our social media to find out the final date on that. But the way these will work is we're going to take community submissions and we will assemble those into one big reel. And then we're going to have a big community live stream where we all hang out. And we'll go through them all. We'll roast the good ones. We'll praise the bad ones. And then at the end, we'll have like a selection of finalists. And from that, we're going to let you, the community, vote on who wins. So the prizes for that are going to be first place is going to take home 20K steel. So you can buy yourself some more sweet awesomeness. And then we'll have 10K and 5K for the second and third place. So definitely a lot of steel flying around, but more than that, it's just going to be an awesome time to just show up, hang out with other players from the community, and look at some fashion. Let's see some cool stuff. Let's roast some cool stuff. It'll be awesome. So stay tuned to our social media channels for the exact dates and times on that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brian. We look forward to that. There's a lot of impressive stuff over on like r/4fashion. We know there's a lot of people working on this stuff. So, but it's going to be a very relaxed thing where we have fun. So don't worry too much about it.
Sure.
We're just all going to have fun.
Yeah, and like for fashion is like I've just for a long time wanted to do something for that whole like slice of the community. It's because it's a massive part of the community, and a lot of stuff I know gets focused on lots of different portions of the community. So I really wanted to make sure this year that we did something for the fashionistas out there.
Always a pleasure to have Brian on. Brian, I appreciate you being here, and by all means, come back anytime, man.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me. Take care.
All right.
Thank you.
Woo! I was a little delayed on that, but that's okay. Matt.
Yes.
Is it Mirage time?
I think it's Mirage time, unless I'm deceived by the desert, in which case, who knows? But I think we will be right back with the season update for Year 5 Season 2. Is that correct, Josh?
That is exactly what I was about to say. We'll be right back, Warriors, with all of the details, all of the juicy details about Year 5 Season 2 Mirage. Warriors, we are here. Welcome to Year 5 Season 2 Mirage. Alongside Matt and myself, we have Nico, Elise, and Andrew to talk about all things Mirage. Thank you all so much for being here. How are you doing?
Pretty good.
Good, Josh. How are you?
Awesome to hear. Like I said, there's a lot to get through. There's a lot of really cool things that are coming with Mirage. So, Nico, go ahead and start us off. What are some things that let's just go ahead and just talk about like Mirage as a whole and just kind of like everything that's been going on. And yeah, just go ahead and you have the floor.
Sure. So Season 1 was about establishing the Covenants, Orcos, Chimera, understanding their rituals, understanding their cultures. That's what we've experienced in the events of that season. Now that this is established and everybody's familiar with the Covenants, we are moving on with Mirage. This season, things are happening in the environment. There's a big drop hitting Heathmore, and as the heat is on, mirages, weird phenomena are happening in the platform. These are things you'll be able to experience with the launch event of that season, which is going to be called Visions of the Kyoshin. So we'll use that event to launch our battle pass. We will also have an exotic game mode that Benjamin will tell us about right after this. So we have this event is going to kickstart a chain of events and phenomena that will lead up to the release of our first new hero of Year 5 at this mid-season point we're all waiting for. But that's not everything. We have a lot of other cool things that are happening this season. In terms of gameplay, there's a huge testing ground update that is coming. All of the heroes that you've played in Season 1 are going to be updated that new season with some changes, some updates that JC and Steph will talk about later on. I'm sorry. We are also going to be having a new round of testing ground this season, with new characters updated, with some combat important changes that I think you have all been waiting for. I've been told not to spoil anything, so I won't. But if you are into samurai characters, there's a series of long-awaited updates that you'll be happy to hear about. Now, another thing that's going to be very important for us to go back to is, we're bringing back Orcos Masquerade within a different form. It's going to be the Covenant games. This is going to come back later on in the season with something different this time. We're going to be bringing some specific rewards. If you play that event, you'll be able to get things that are really special and unique to that mode. So that will be all of the content that we see in TU1. TU2, obviously, we launch with the new hero. I'm not telling you who that's going to be. You will see. Play the game during TU1. We'll be dropping hints here and there for you to get information, pick up, how this character looks like, etc., etc. We are also going to be releasing new armor variations. The Dominion series is going to be coming back. And finally, we'll finish the year with a throwback event of Shadows of the Hitokiri. So a lot is happening in Season 2 Mirage. I suppose at that point, we should kick the trailer. We should show the trailer.
Yeah, let's show the trailer. Everyone,
Sounds
enjoy.
good.
Check it out.
All right, let's do it.
All parched and weathered, we yearned for the days past. We growled at the scorching sun. Then, shimmers of dust, breathing ashes. They came from nowhere. They left us in awe.
A trailer so hype it froze Nico Bombre. He's stuck like that, No, he had some technical difficulties, and he was revealed to be a mirage of the desert for now. But we could still talk about a few subjects with Mirage, Year 5 Season 2. Elise, last season, it was sort of a time of plenty. There was a whole banquet and everything. What's changed since then?
So yeah, after the banquet, basically the overall climate of Heathmoor changed slowly until it came to become a drought, as you could see in the trailer and all. Basically, it was a way for us to tell a different story this time about, there are two new groups fighting each other, obviously, but the years and decades of war, they had the toll on on nature itself too, right? Using also strange ore to forge new weapons and everything. It has an impact also on the lands themselves. So that's the kind of story that we wanted to tell for that season 2. But there's also another thing. This season is basically our love letter to Japanese mythology and culture in general. We are all Japanophile on the team, and we really wanted to take the time to put a bit more of to put the samurai under the spotlight, let's say, for that season.
Yeah,
so that's it's a real very big spotlight. So yeah, that's really and I also want to take the time to thank our Japanese developers at Ubisoft who really helped us on that season that they gave us really cool, interesting stories, references about Japanese mythology and everything. And I'm gonna try to explain a few of them because I think it could be interesting for the players to know them.
Yeah, thank you.
So yeah, thank you, Max. First and foremost, so for that season, we've been inspired by some aspects of Japanese culture and especially spirituality and even magic in a way. Historically speaking, the Onmyoji, for example, were practitioners of a special kind of magic called Onmyodo, yin and yang magic, actually. And even I think it was in the 700s and the 800s, there was even a minister of Onmyodo, so almost a minister of magic, because those Onmyoji were used as they were counseling the imperial court. So this was a super interesting story for us, to be inspired of. And the other inspiration that I wanted to mention is the Yamabushi, because they are literally it means mountain hermits, if I'm not mistaken. And they are also they have that sense of practicing some sort of esoteric rituals and all that pertains to Shingon Buddhism, for those who are interested in those kind of things. So we kind of mixed those two influences to bring a sense of more some magical stuff, but very I'm using quotes here because there's no magic literally in a foreigner exactly. It's more a matter of perception. On top of that, we also we wanted also to expand a bit the samurai pantheon with some deities, and as you will see in the event, you will see some multi-armed type of figure that are in part inspired by two main things in Buddhism. So there's the Ashura on one side, or Asura, as you may have played games more or less using the same name. But in our case, it's a real thing from Buddhism. They are considered as warrior demons in a way. So they are very powerful. They are about power and everything. And on the other side, you have Marishiten. So she was a deity of heath haze and shimmering light. So it's really fitting, for the season called Mirage. And she was also a sort of a patron for the samurai. During the, I think around the same time as the Onyoji, if I'm not mistaken. So those are like the really super interesting historical references that we wanted to pay some sort of homage in that season. But as I was mentioning before, there's also like a sense of a bigger disaster coming in For Honor. So there's that drought coming that's affecting, as you will see right after, several maps. And there's it was our way, to say that the war is going and people are fighting on lands, but maybe they took some things for granted about those lands, and that's what we wanted to reflect in that storyline. And also putting the focus on the samurai was interesting for us because it's a way to maybe have a different approach to disasters in general, because the Japanese culture and samurai, in our case, they don't see things like as like dualities. For them it has a different meaning, I would say.
Yeah.
And this is something that we will see also like through the hero that's coming, which is not Pedro Pascal, as mentioned before, which is not Dobeni, not a knight. I'm sorry, no, he did those heroes are not Dobenis. But yeah,
He is a hero, but he's not a hero, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
Hero. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and in our case, so I can't tell you too much about it because I want you to play the event, to play throughout that first half of the season to discover a bit more about their lore. But it's basically a group of very special warriors in the world of For Honor that you will get, hopefully, like you will learn to love as much as we love them. And they are like that sort of embodiment of how to react in terms of disasters, and maybe even in that covenant type of duality, they have their own take on it. So it's really quite excited to see how the players will react to it.
That's awesome. I've always personally been enamored by Japanese culture, so this is like right up my alley. This is awesome. I can't wait to see more. But Andrew, let's go ahead and talk about the art direction for Mirage. Obviously, things are there's like some like desert vibes, but then you also have more fiery, really just like awesome visuals. So can you tell us a little bit more about what the team's kind of goal was in kind of making a kind of like this new vibe for Mirage?
Of course, for this season, the keyword that we have used was a drought, scarcity, and spirit, and hallucinations. I mean, as we know, the intense party follows by great hangover. So after a season of Horkos and Masquerade and the Chimera's Banquet, like no one expected what's about to come in this season. A sudden drought strikes heat more, and water is scarce, and the heat is drying everything. Animals are dying, and things are rotting. Everyone's suffering, yet the battle still continues. People are seeing things that they usually don't see, but we now lose our control to identify what's real and what is the mirage. So we temporarily redressed the Temple Garden, Forest, Belvedere, and High Fort for this season for TU1, and at TU2 we'll witness a little more interesting updates. But by this, I wish players to have a unique seasonal experience during the Dominion mode and the rest as well. As you can see the mood board, the theme of the drought and the mirage gave us an opportunity to try unique visual from the previous season, but even previous years. I mean, as you can see in the images, the cracks, microscopic bone patterns, sand painting, Salvador Dali, and the desert animals were used as our reference and inspirations. And wavy patterns and melting shapes were used to express the heat wave and mirage. And people will start seeing things, and the myth about the mirage will slowly spread to the heat more, and the desert sand yellow will be the new trend color for this season. And it may get more intense as the season progresses. Okay, now let's move on to the battle pass. There are cool rewards that is waiting for S19. There's a rewards about the multi-faced head replacements, and there's outfits, execution with the exotic weapons and ornaments, and of course we cannot miss out the para emote called the head-to-head. We will find out what that is. And lastly, it comes with the weapons. So this new Battle Pass weapons are quite unique this season. The weapon showcases the current status of Heatmore. The weapons are not only tool to bring the death in this season, but the intense heat brought the death of living things and start melting and drying all. So for the materials, we use the crocodile leathers to express the dryness. A desert shimmak patterns on the fabrics and damask and the warmonger's metal was used for the blade. But patterns are not the only things that will be wavy. All weapons will have these wavy shapes, I mean the actual shapes, to showcase the heat waves and mirage. So for the color, dry yellow, warm dark gray, and bone white were used, and it's going to be hot summer, so prepare with all this new trend of fashion, event, and Dominion series.
Awesome. Yeah, no, these look super awesome. So before we go ahead and kick it to the Battle Pass video and showing all the weapons, Elise, Andrew, Cardboard Cutout, Nico, thank you for joining us today. It was an absolute pleasure. And after the video, we'll be right back with Benjamin to talk about Visions of the Kyoshin. I hope I said that right. But yes, enjoy it. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. I was here all along.
Warriors, we're back with Year 5 Season 2, starting on June 10th. Mirage, Visions of the Kyoshi is the event. Thank you to Nico, Elise, and Andrew again for walking us through that. We're joined now by Benjamin. Ben, how are you doing?
We're very fine, you?
We're doing great. We're excited to hear more about this event and how it ties into the themes of the season with like the scarcity and the drought and sort of the dreamy quality of what's going on and the visions. In terms of the event itself, can you walk us through the realization?
Yeah, really. So we really went with a kind of, like you said, a mirage theme, but like it's like you're in the desert. There's a lot of dust clouds. It's very dry. Everyone's thirsty, but they can't find any water. So they're starting to see some stuff. So you think it's supernatural, but it's actually mirage, or maybe it's real. You don't really know. So this is reflected in basically all of the stuff, from the podium to the main menu and everything. So you're really feeling it. And especially you have the special minions that are going to be for the event.
Nice.
And especially the map for the game mode is going to have that treatment of being extremely dry. So what's the game mode? We're going to have these Possessed Kyoshi here that spawn on A and C. I call them big boys. I think everyone will call them big boys now that
everyone will call them big boys.
Six-arm leggy beef people.
There you go. So they're gonna be like preventing you from getting the points at the start of the game. And if you manage to kill them, though, you're gonna get the Heavenly Vision. Boom! Oh, that timing though. All right.
Beautiful.
So when you get the Heavenly Vision, it's a buff basically. For while the boss is dead, you're going to see the world through like the eyes of the god basically. So you have a buff that heals you whenever you hit something, that applies bleed to anyone you touch. It looks really OP, but honestly, it's not. Like if you're 1 against 2 with this thing, you're not necessarily going to be winning. So and the fact that there are Possessed Kyoshi big boys on the A and C points means that both teams can get the buff, and then we could get major Dragon Ball Z style fights in the lane with the 2 Heavenly Vision guys, and then the rest of the people are fighting. Or maybe you can just have them kind of roam around, kill people, pick them off. And the point is to just kind of get points from that. So as you kill the Possessed Kyoshi, you also get some buffs. You get the hard point bonus, you get some renown, you get fully healed, in addition to the buff. So what's really cool about all this is if you know the minion, that's it. Like, you know all the rules already. All you have to know is there are big boys on the capture points. Clear them out, get the buff, and go to town. So if you're familiar with this, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. So if you're kind of tired of the whole of the repetition of just doing regular dominions, go into this mode and you're gonna have a ton of fun. We sure had in the internal play sessions. So I hope to see you on there, and maybe catch some of the Easter eggs in there. Good luck with that. And we have some weapons.
We do have weapons indeed. Not only do we have Battle Pass goodies, we also have event weapons, which you'll be able to check out when Visions of the Kyoshi comes out on June 10th. This also runs until July 1st, so get on in there and check it out. We're actually going to go ahead and show the weapons, so we hope you guys enjoy that. But Ben, thank you so much for coming on and talking about the event and showing us what it looks like to look through the eyes of a god in all of its blue, majestic glory. I like blue. Blue's my favorite color, obviously. So yeah. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to join us. But yes, Warriors, don't go anywhere. We will be right back with Testing Grounds. It's going to be fun, so stick around.
Hey. Ha ha!
Warriors, it's year 5, season 2 Mirage. We're here with 2 very special guests, Stefan and JC. How are you guys doing?
Hello, pretty good.
Great, thank you. How are you guys?
We are so hyped right now because
Absolutely.
we have some news coming up in a little bit of time that you guys will get to. But before that, it's important, and a lot of people have been asking about what we made of the last testing grounds and our takeaways from that. So, Stefan, can you walk us through where we're at with the last testing grounds?
Yes, absolutely. Our previous testing ground was in year 5, season 1. We went a little bit crazy and we brought 7 characters to this testing ground. So that was a lot of fun for us, and it turns out to be a lot of fun for the players as well. So that was really cool. Basically, across the board, in terms of feedback, we were looking for what did people say on social media, what did people put into their surveys that we ask after every testing ground. This is a huge insight for us. Tons of players played in the testing ground and gave the feedback, so this was a lot to go through. But kind of universally, it seems like players had a lot of fun messing with the characters, and we're really happy to see so many characters kind of brought to the power level that these characters need to be at. So for us, it was quite good. Basically, what you're going to see here is the whole 7 are going to come to year 5, season 2 at the beginning of year 5, season 2. So they're all going to be unleashed. You're going to see a number of edits to most of them based on player feedback, what parts weren't working, what parts were too strong, what parts didn't quite make sense. And we're going to try to shore up each of these areas in preparation for their release at year 5, season 2.
Awesome. JC, this would be a good time for us to kind of go over just like some of those tweaks that are coming. So you have the floor. By all means, go ahead and walk us through some of the tweaks.
Okay, let's do this. So first of all, Berserker. So Berserker didn't really need any changes from what we had in the previous testing ground. So
easy.
Berserker, yeah, easy. So Berserker is going to ship as is. That is pretty good news. He performed quite well. The improvements were pretty good, so we're really happy overall with him. Next up, we have Gladiator. So Gladiator was a tiny bit too strong in a bunch of little areas. So we're doing some changes. First of all, Fushina Ictus, which is basically known as Toe Stab, it was dealing a bit too much damage, especially when you were landing it on somebody that was out of stamina. So now we've changed it so that it no longer unbalances out of stamina opponents. That's a big change to that move, but I think it's one that is going to be a lot healthier. We also have Skewer. So Skewer had a little bit of an issue because it barely generates any revenge when it hits or when it's dodged. And so because of that, it became an incredibly strong ganking tool. So we were changing it slightly so that it actually generates as much revenge as most bashes in the game. So it's technically 30 revenge here. That should make it less effective as a ganking tool, but it's still quite good. And finally, we have the sucker punches, which are like dodge punches. So the front version is faster. It's now 500 milliseconds. So that makes it better at opening up opponents. You can't delay the side dodge ones. So similarly to what we've done with Griffon, you can only do them at a very specific, strict timing when you're dodging to make them a little bit easier to deal with. If you do like a heavy feint, it should be a bit easier to deal with. All the sucker punches also do less stamina damage. The stamina bully aspect of Gladiator wasn't something that we really wanted to keep pushing forward. It's like a bit of an annoyance sometimes, so we wanted to get rid of that a little bit. And at the same time, all of his sucker punches no longer pause stamina regen. That's also another big one that we're trying to move away from slightly. So next up we have Zanhu. So Zanhu was, I think, one of the most, Zanhu and Hitokiri were the 2 most well-received heroes in the testing grounds. So for Zanhu, there's only 2 small changes we have for him. Basically, the zone attack speed is going back to 600 milliseconds. At 500, it was way too fast. Like, it was incredibly strong. I know
it's a matter of some debate, JC.
Yeah, a matter of some debate. But a lot of the feedback we've gotten was that he's now extremely strong in group fights. And part of that was that zone attack was a bit too fast. So back at 6, it's still very good, but it's not as strong as it used to be. And we're also going to keep the side dodge attacks as light parries. We had intended for them to be heavy parries. There was a bit of a glitch, and they ended up staying light parries. And it turns out that they should have stayed light parries because they're them being enhanced now and such. They're much stronger tools. So with that being light parries, they're still kind of harder to react to in parry. So we should be good with that.
Still going to be limitless.
Yeah, it's still gonna be limitless.
Nice.
All right. So next up is Aramusha. So Aramusha was also pretty good, pretty well received. Like Steph was saying, that they're all well received, so it doesn't really matter. But Aramusha, the big change that we're doing on him is that he still had issues with reach. So a lot of the time when you were doing either like his top heavy soft thing to ring the bell or a lot of different things, because his range was too low, you could really effectively just backdash, like hold back in the backdash and backdodge and be able to avoid a lot of his options. So we've given him a lot more range on most of his attacks, all of his like neutral heavies, infinite lights, all that sort of stuff, so that it's harder to just hold back and kind of deal with it. Yeah, he's able to reach out a little bit more and hit you. So that should really help Aramusha get better into those fights.
I appreciate it. Thank you. As a Aramusha fan, thank you.
Perfect. That's good. So Shugoki is the more contentious one, but we felt that the changes that we've done to Shugoki actually make him a lot healthier to play both as and against. But there was like two little things that were tweaking from what we had on testing grounds. First off was Charge of the Oni. There was a little bit of a bug/issue where you could just mash the sprint button and you could do like crazy demon drift things and what people were calling it. So it was interesting, it was funny, but at the same time, you know, it wasn't really working as intended. So now we fixed the stamina consumption on him. You can still mash sprint if you want, but you're gonna end up depleting your stamina quite fast. So it's no longer an effective solution. And we've also lowered the Demon's Embrace recovery by a bit, so that it's not as punishing when you do it and you miss. So that should also help Shugoki a little bit there.
So just before we jump off on that one, I know that a lot of the Shugoki, some of the perception was a bit more contentious on this one. Generally, when we looked at the surveys, it fell a bit more into like the Shugoki mains side and trying to get it into that ultra competitive level. We have a little bit of thinking like, hey, with rotation being a bit better, it's going to help the character. With Demon Embrace being a gank tool, but not a 1v1 tool, we're probably going to be where we want to be, so that's all right. And then you'll see a little bit later why we think charged heavies and unblockable heavies are probably going to end up a bit better than they are today in the live environment at some point.
Some points, yes. All right, so next up, so Janjung. So Janjung also only has one change to him, but it's something that has been widely requested. The Dao Shi's choke. Now, I'm not going to say it the same way as last time when I got made fun of.
Douchey?
So, yeah, that's right.
Why'd you say it?
I'm sorry.
I don't know, right? So anyway, so that moves stamina damage has been reduced by almost half. So this way you can't just like parry a zone and then choke somebody and then they're out of stamina every single time. So it's still a good tool. It still drains stamina more than a lot of different things, but it's no longer like, I'm going to take all your stamina out. That for JJ. And then finally, Hitokiri. Hitokiri was like the second most well-received character, but still had issues. She's now, I think, one of the better duelists in the game. But we still wanted to do some changes so that the character actually is a bit more fair to play against. So first off, for kicks, so raid kick and re-sweep, they do less stamina damage, and they no longer pause stamina regeneration. Gives you a bit more breathing room when you fight against Hitokiri, so they're not going to put you out of stamina as they go all-out asthma attack on you, so that should work. Then we have Endless Myriad. These are the infinite heavies and chains, which are also guaranteed after a raid kick and re-sweep. So we've reduced the damage on them a little bit because the damage being that high off, and because it's guaranteed every time you land a raid kick or a sweep, you should be okay with like dealing a little bit less damage. It's still good. It still works fine. But again, it gives your opponents a bit of a chance of escaping the infinite loop that she can get into. And finally, like we've did with Griffon and I said Gladiator, her side dodge heavy attacks are no longer delayable. Helps them being a little bit more reactable, easier to deal with. So that's one change that we're pushing towards a couple of heroes to see. But normally it really helps with reacting to those attacks as well, and now being able to also dodge multiple things like chargeable, like for example, right, Hitokiri with rate kick and re-sweep. Some characters, including Hitokiri herself, really enough, was able to dodge and then delay their dodge attack so they could dodge both the kick and the sweep at the same time. Now this should not be possible anymore with with no longer being able to delay the side attacks.
It's interesting also because you can kind of see a little bit of our current line of thinking on like what are these side dodge attacks? How do we think they position properly in the game? Same thing with stamina damage and stamina pause, or stamina regen pause. We're starting to come around to a different line of thinking than we used to be on this. So we'll see how it goes going forward. But I'm pretty excited about the way things are going.
Yeah, the big thing with stamina pause is like when somebody is out of stamina, for example, it's much harder to keep them out of stamina for a long period of time. That really helps.
You don't like being gray screen forever?
I'm not a huge fan of being gray screen forever. I don't know about you there, but it's not the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right, funny. So I think that's it for the changes to the heroes.
Yeah, I think now we can jump into the future of testing grounds and some things that you are very excited to be trying out. The new testing grounds will be going live on July 1st, run through July 8th. And once we show you what is actually in this testing grounds, we know for a fact you are going to flock to it, and we are excited to see your feedback. But let's go ahead and roll out the red carpet for our heroes that will be featured in this round of testing grounds. It is it's going to be
starting with Orochi, right? So we're starting with Orochi. Orochi's right now, like a lot of players are not super happy with the state of Orochi, so we've given him a little go. Should be really interesting. So that's good. So it's a pretty good character to work on, I think. Next up, we have Raider, the big guy with an axe. Raider. Yeah! So Raider's another character that had a lot of people complaining about, that he's gotten weaker and weaker. So maybe some changes to Raider. But see, there's a thing here, though. Okay. It looks like there's a little bit of space next to Raider.
There's an empty space there.
There's empty space there. I wonder if somebody could run up to that thing and, like, you know, like bending forward with their arms back or something. I don't know who pops up there. I'm really curious.
I'm sensing a resident sneaky boy.
A sneaky boy
around. I think.
Who's a sneaky boy?
A mirage-like person.
A mirage-like person. Let's go ahead and pull him out.
Oh, it's Shinobi. Oh, yeah.
Shinobi.
Right, so I think that's our most requested hero to have in testing grounds. Yeah. So so Shinobi's getting quite a few changes. Should be super interesting. So I don't want to go into too much detail because there's a lot of stuff. But what's this? We also have option selects that we already announced, so it's not that much of a surprise. But so we're also going to be testing option select changes. There's going to be a blog post before the testing ground, so we can see, like, we can have a lot more details about the changes to the heroes, the logic behind them, also some stuff for the option select. So that should be good. And so that should be really, really interesting. And I think the next testing grounds is going to be really interesting because option select changes really, really end up changing a lot of what's going on with the game. So we're going to be excited to play that out and see how it goes.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you guys for running us through that. That was like a novel-length expose on 7 heroes, 3 new heroes, and the option selects. So thank you guys so much. I think everyone's going to be super excited to see those changes in game real soon, as well as to try out the testing grounds changes. And when we can talk a little bit more about those, we'll let you know. Seven and JC, thanks so much for coming by. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, thanks, guys.
We'll be right back. Shinobi. We got news on Shinobi. So that's exciting. Thank you again to JC and Stefan for talking about the past and the future of testing grounds. It's always great to hear what we're working on. So thanks again to them. We have talked about a lot of stuff, Warriors, but we have a little bit more to get to. You all right, Josh?
I'm good. Keep going.
Okay. We have June 3rd, Burning Embers, the arcade quest is right around the corner, so be ready for that, Warriors.
I think it's time to talk about some sweet outfits. Who's trying to look spiffy? The Chimera Hope is your way to look spiffy in the game. This is available for all heroes, so by all means, if you have a favorite hero and you want to give him some new threads, check out the Chimera Hope. It is available in the store for 7K steel. So, go ahead and get your warrior all jazzed. Get your warrior all nice. And then
get
you also
your warrior
have,
jazzed.
Yeah, get your warrior absolutely jazzed. We also have a paired emote that is coming into the game, a new paired emote called Raising Glasses. And Matt, I believe I would like to raise my glass to you, sir. I would like to clink through the screen. No, go to the left.
What?
No,
we worked on this.
We did. We totally worked on this. But yes,
Tell me when.
What?
Tell me when. Just tell me when.
Are we clinking this way or this way?
Through. I'm clinking through my camera.
Oh, okay. So I was trying to
Oh,
mirror
that's
the.
Yeah, better. That's a better idea. Clink.
There you go.
And executed perfectly. We did it.
Yeah, one take Drake. This is in the store for 10K steel. If you want your warriors to share some fellowship on the battlefield before brutally dying to a brutal execution, then the Raising Glass is for you, fam.
Absolutely. And I believe we have a roadmap coming up next. We have a lot to come in June. Visions of the Kyoshin, most importantly. Also an XP Fest on June 25th. So toward the end of the month, there's stuff too. So very excited for June. Screenshot this, put it on Reddit, get karma. Thank you very much. Now we want to move on to Bug Reporter, I believe, Josh.
Yes, we do indeed. We have a couple of bugs that we want to go ahead and quickly go over that have been fixed. First up in the game, if you've been playing on Xbox and used some headphones, you possibly might have experienced minor to severe audio glitch depending on the game mode. It was prevalent in Breach, but we're happy to say that this issue has been fixed. And again, thank you to everyone who submitted on this report.
Yep. We also had an issue with female gladiators helm. The Chimera Poeta helm had the wrong model, and I think there were some clipping issues. And a lot of people reported this on Reddit that I saw. So thank you to who reported it through Bug Reporter. It is now fixed in the game. So thank you very much.
Oh, additionally, we've also fixed some janky Nobushi animations that you might have seen. Fixed like some keyframe issues. Big thank you to Lord Dem for submitting this report, and it is fixed. Big shout out to you, sir. So if you have any bugs you've experienced in the game, or you want to contribute to bugs that you are kind of just experiencing, head on over to forhonor.ubisoft.com/bug reporter. Submit bugs, contribute to bugs, and let's all my homies hate bugs, so let's get them fixed.
Couldn't agree more. We also have Dominion series happening right now, so register at battlefy.com/Dominion series and get in there and give it a try. That's what I say. And you never know. You never know how it's going to go until you try, and maybe you end up in the cash winnings. You simply never know until you try.
Exactly. Dollar bills, y'all. Who wants a sweet cash prize? If you want it, you gotta be good at the game and beat people. So yeah. We are excited for Mirage to be coming out. It's coming out June 10th. Go ahead and play the game, play the event when everything drops. We're super excited for the future of this season. Again, we also have a new hero that is coming later on, where I'm actually really curious to see what type of speculation I'm going to see on the forums and stuff. But Matt, I believe this is not a knight.
I've been told it's not a knight.
It's not a knight. So people have no fear. No knights are here. At least for Mirage. But again, thank you everyone for joining us today on the Warriors Den. It was an action-packed show. Lots of stuff to cover. Be sure to follow us on all of our social media at For Honor Game. If you are watching this on Twitch or YouTube, if you're on YouTube, hello, hi, we're from the past. Go ahead and head over to Twitch TV and follow us so you don't miss any of our live streams. And again, yes, Mirage, Year 5, Season 2, coming out June 10th. We're excited for you to play it and looking forward to seeing all your feedback. Again, thanks for joining us, and we will catch you in the next one. Peace.
Peace.